Welcome to this lecture. So in this lecture we are going to talk about another tool, so that is important tool in the case of the Windows machine, where we can just get the credentials that has been forgotten by the user. So if you just forget that credentials, you can just use that application, but it is also useful for the hackers, because hacker can use that and get the information by running that application on the client, and you can send that result back to the Gmail or back to the server. So what you can do is, first of all, let me just check this our keylogger, that is main keylogger, and let's check if this is powerful enough or not. So first of all, I'll just go over here, which is, and I'll just search for VirusTotal to check which of these viruses or antiviruses will just capture our application. And let's go first in this VirusTotal. You have also another website which is NoDistribute, but I prefer VirusTotal than the NoDistribute. So let's choose the file. So I have that file, so I have this in the downloads maybe. No, it was not in the downloads. So it is in here, which is our host. So I want that file, which is main keylogger.exe. So okay, I want to scan this. Let's see which of these antiviruses, that is the top antiviruses, will capture our keylogger. And you can also modify this keylogger, because these antiviruses basically track for some of the keywords, and if that keyword is in your code, then they will just say that it has an antiviruses database. In the antiviruses there is basically the way to track, which is if you just want that antivirus doesn't track your code as in viruses, then you can just make a changes in a such way that there won't be such keywords, something like a keylogger. So if you have a keylogger word in your programming, they can just track that, because that is a one type of keywords that determines that it is a viruses. So it is going on, so process is going on, analysis is carrying on. So you can clearly see we have this Bitdefender, which is the top antivirus application, said that this is a clean. We don't have, and you can see the McAfee has said this is also a clean. That means it is not a virus. So our top of these applications have shown us that this is clean, it is not the virus. But, and you can see 8 out of 64 has shown that this is a virus, and these were some of these applications that shows that our application is a virus. So if you want to make the code that even this type of antiviruses doesn't track you, then you can simply change your code in a way that it doesn't be traced by this. So you can just check the documentation of these antiviruses, how they work, and you can make the changes on your code accordingly. So in this lecture we are going to talk about another important program, and that is Lasan. So we just call this Lasan, and basically this is the application that is going to give us information about the stored password that is in your machine. So it is also available in all of these platform, and it is a bit of world, so it has been there for quite a long time. You can see the version, so version has reached to 2.4.2, and credit goes to this developer over here. So let's see, our antiviruses has tracked some of these applications, but you can see the top applications or top antiviruses like McAfee and Kaspersky has given us a clean sheet that this is not the virus. So this will just let me just close this now. So in this lecture we are just going to give this a try to this Lasan, and we'll see how this works. So first of all, let's go to the client side and see how this Lasan is going to work over here. So first of all, open your browser and just search for this Lasan. So what you need to do is just search for this Lasan application, and you'll just get this GitHub link. Let's press that GitHub link and you'll just get here. And this is the window machine, so I am going to just run this machine. According to your platform, you can just download that file for your platform. So in my case it is lasan.exe, and you should remember this application is going to be deleted automatically if you download by the Windows Defender. So make sure that you close that Windows Defender. So if you just run this Lasan, or basically if you close this Windows Defender in your actual machine, then that is going to give us more problem. So it is better to just test it in the VirtualBox. So here in the Windows Defender, I want to just make off to all of these protections. So these are the check files and apps, and all of these has been off in my case. So let me just close it, and you can now download. So after downloading, I have just downloaded over here. You can clearly see Lasan is over here. So if I have to run this application, all you need to do is type the CMD over here, and if I say dir, this is going to give us all the directories on the current location. So I want this Lasan to be running, and it is Lasan, which is this application .exe. And if you check out the documentation part over here, then it will show that it is going to be executed by all functions. So let me just go in the next link, and let me show you that in order to run this, okay, I was in the next, let's go in this first link. So it will show you that if you want to run this, you have to type lasan.exe and all command to just launch this module and show you how this works. So I'll just go over here and I'll just say all. So when I just hit enter, this is going to run our project, and it will give you the information of the password that is saved over here. I haven't saved any password in this VirtualBox. That means it will just type this message, but you can get the Facebook password, even Facebook password and Gmail password over here. So now what we are going to do in this lecture is we are going to make a project which will download this Lasan automatically to this client, and will get the information of every password that is saved on this machine back to our Gmail. So let's make that first. So I'll just go to the Kali, because Kali is the server that is going to get the information about downloading and sending mail to the server or the hacker. So let's go over here, which is our Kali machine. And so before that, you have to also download that Lasan in this Kali machine, because we want this to be inserted in our machine. So you can see that I have here, that is a downloaded over here, lasan.exe, and I want that to be stored in this var www html and a file which is our collection of the files that should be downloaded. So now let's go back to our PyCharm, and over here we want to make some changes here. So first of all, you can clearly see this download is going to download that keylogger, but for now it is not going to be main keylogger, it is going to be Lasan. So it is lasan.exe. so make sure that it is all in lowercase. Let's go back. Okay, it is all in lowercase, lasan.exe, or you can simply grab, or let me just rename it so that we could just, okay, I'll just copy everything and I'll just go back here in the PyCharm and I'll just paste it right here, which will be over here. And you could see now we have to execute that is Lasan. So we'll just execute this lasan.exe, and now we'll just execute over here with the check output method. So before that, let me make another method to send the email. So I'll just say send mail, and you know, in order to send mail you have to import the SMTP library. So I'll just go over here and I'll just say import me SMTP lib, and over here in this send mail, I'll just say send mail, and the first here I want to send is the email while calling, and the password and the message will be the result. So message sent to the Gmail will be the result of the Lasan, which will be collection of the password of that client machine. So let's make the server first. We have done this before, so it should be with this SMTP library. Let's call this SMTP, and here I have to pass the host of the Gmail. So it is SMTP gmail.com. So next argument here is a 587, which is the port of the Gmail. So I want to start this server with this start method. Let's log into our Gmail now with this login method with this email and password, and after that I want to just send the mail. So in order to send mail, you have this send mail method. So I want to send, so first it is from address, so I want the address also the email, and email is to address. That means we want to send this to this email address that we just passed to this send mail method, and the message we want to send. So after that we'll just quit that server. So I have just created this send mail method, and you can clearly see that it has also been created in the couple of lectures before. So after that we have this download, which is calling this download URL, and it basically gets that file. And after that we are here to just run that with this check output method. We just get that method. So if you just remember, it was not only this lasan.exe command, it has also been with the all. So if I just go back in our window machine and open that CMD, then you could clearly see that it was with this lasan.exe, and all command was just given with this file name so as to print all of these username. So let's go back and go back to our Kali, and here we are just executing this command in the shell, and I've said this couple of times before too. So after that we'll just call this send mail method, and here I have to pass first the email. So let's pass the email here. Make sure that you make the new email for this, and I'll just say my email, and less password also should be given here. And after that I'll just say that I want to send the result. So we have completed that is here. And what we just did here was we just downloaded first what is the Lasan's application. After that we just check the output, and check output is basically going to just run this command, and we just get the result. And because in this time it is not going to be the p open, this is not going to work because we want the result from this command. So that means we have to just pass the check output, and after we get the result we'll just send that result to the Gmail, which is basically with this method. So let's see if this works or not. So before just working, we have to send this again to our client. So let me go over here and let me just copy that download again, which is obviously in our PyCharm project. So let's go back and let me see where that was. It was maybe in the home. So it is in the home, PyCharm project, Mac Changer. It is download .py file that is going to be here, and I'll just copy this and store in our server. Let me just replace it now. And now let's go back to our client, and here I'll just navigate to file. Make sure that web server is up and running. Let's go to this download.py file. Let's save this first, and let me just open the folder too, and let me run this download one more time. So let me just remove this download first. Let me also remove this Lasan because we are going to download this from the server. So let me just remove that. Let's see if we can just rename this, and now I'm going to run it here. And this is going to first download the Lasan over here. Make sure that window defender is closed, and after that I'll just say something that is first python download.py. Let me just hit enter. It is going to download us first the Lasan. Okay, it has now downloaded the Lasan, so you can clearly see. So if you just go over here, Lasan has been downloaded and it has been executed now. So let's go back to our Kali machine, and I think the result has been sent to our Firefox in our Gmail account, and you can clearly see it has been sent in here. Let me open this. So you could see it has the vault password and everything that has been executed now in the client, and you could see the user also. I haven't any password in that client because I have no account created in this window machine. But if you just create any account of the Facebook or Gmail, it will be captured by this Lasan and sent back to you with the Gmail account. So this will be wrap for this lecture. See you in the next one.